Hey, so today is one that I actually have really been looking forward to talking about. Since yesterday I spoke about the birth of Christ, today I'm actually continuing on that. Because yesterday's the birth of Christ was more about the time of year the birth of Christ happened and why. Me personally, I don't celebrate the birth of Christ on December 25th, what you might call Christmas. Christmas, the Christ Mass. It's a Roman calendar. It's a Roman holiday. It's a Roman Catholic holiday, meaning the Christ Mass in Roman Catholicism. When you have a major high holiday where everyone's supposed to come and hear a sermon, it's called a Mass, and they have Mass every week. But it's a special Mass, and this is the Christ Mass, the Mass of the birth of Christ. So, literally, Christmas is a Roman Catholic word. That means you're going to Roman Catholic Church to celebrate the Mass of Christ. And since I don't do that, I don't call it Christmas. I call it the birth of Christ, because it's the birth of Christ. Christ's birthday, birth of Christ, whichever one, either's fine. That's exactly what it is. But does it happen on December 25th? That's what we went over the last video. No, it does not. Do we know the exact date it happens? No. I don't think there's anyone on the planet that knows. Maybe, but if they are, they haven't made a video that I've seen or put out a book that I've read. A lot of theories on it, but nothing definitive. We did go over the evidence of what is definitive and what we know, not from the Bible necessarily. I mean, there's some aspects out of the Bible, but majority of the information we were using in the last video to decide when Christ was born was Rome's own information. The one good thing I have to say about Rome is they invented, they didn't just invent, they really expanded upon the idea of recording every single thing you do, every government action, making it recorded and available to the people. That's cool. It's giving now you've always got a witness going on because the records are there. So again, we went over that. Now in this one, we're going to use more of the Bible because, in fact, the part of the story we're telling now is from the perspective of the wise men, those who are coming to worship the Christ when he was born. So we're going to go over theirs, and their story is fascinating. And like I said, I don't know if I said in the last video or if I said in a video that was accidentally deleted or something, but the three wise men did not show up to the manger. The three wise men never saw Mary and Joseph in the manger. Now, I'm not saying they didn't see the manger. I'm saying they never saw Mary and Joseph in the manger. They did not see the baby Jesus in the manger. They did not show up the night Jesus was born. They were not there in the manger 45 minutes or an hour or even 5 hours after Jesus was born. They were not there for that. They may have shown up to the manger, and we're going to go over that, how I think maybe they possibly did go to the manger, just as a common sense thing, but they did not go there when Jesus and Mary were born. So, let's go over how does this begin, what's going on. And this is fascinating because we put into one day, and the Israelites do it, right? I mean, they still have a Feast of Trumpets. That's at least a week long. But I mean, this event is going to take like 2 years, and it's not going to culminate either in just a one night thing because so many big things are going to happen during those years that you can't, man. Even if you wanted to give one night for each thing, like you can't really do it. But we'll go over it anyway. So I love this part. I love this part of the birth of Christ because it really does give you like some insight into the state of Israel at the time, to the mindset of the children of Abraham, and to the mindset of the Greeks, to the Gentiles, and to really the mindset of Rome, of what Rome is officially telling the people it is. This is, if you want to know what Rome is, this is Rome right here. I don't meaning Jerusalem is Rome or any city in Israel is Rome. I mean their idealism. Like if when I say they might be harsh people, you're gonna see how harsh they can be. Rome is a harsh empire, and you're gonna see that in this video. And a lot of it mirrors today. And there's a funny thing that happened at this time in the heavens above that actually just happened for the first time again this year. It hadn't happened since the birth of Christ, and it happened during the Feast of Trumpets and whatnot back here in 2017 and September 2017. It actually started back in June of 2017, and this was a sign in the heavens back then. And it was, it's not really a sign in the heavens. I don't know if today. I don't know. Maybe it was, and I just don't know the message or something. Maybe someone else does. But here's what it was. So, the Virgin Virgo the Virgin has got the serpent lined up with her, and the transition of Jupiter enters her womb on the somewhere in June. I don't want to say the 30th of June. It probably was like the last week of June to the first week of July. You could argue, speculate over when it passed that invisible line between those two stars that make up that part of the constellation. But roughly around those dates, and that the transition was 3 months long, a 90-day transition, and it ended at about when the Feast of Trumpets would start, and it exited through the womb. It spent 90 days in the womb, and it exited from between the legs in the actual constellation itself, Jupiter, which is the king star. So basically, the king star, the head star, was born. It was supposed to be a sign when Christ was born. This is one of the signs that the wise men were looking at in the heavens to help lead the way where they're supposed to go, and it actually happened. Again here, and in America, if you're watching it or trying to watch it over the 90-day period from America, it wasn't so easy because these constellations in the heavens that you were wanting to watch to look at for us in the night sky were very low. During the night hour, like suns, because of the part of the world Israel's on, and because of the part of the world America's on, we don't see the same stars at the same time. So we're looking at two different parts of the heavens until we rotate to where the other one was located, and then we see the same part of the heavens in the same spot in the sky. So I guess everyone can understand that we rotate, and as we rotate, we see different stars in the heavens as it, throughout the year and throughout the night. Stars, they don't move across the sky, but we understand movement as we rotate, so as we spin. In our time, locally, it would really be on the horizon about 5 and 6 o'clock at night, going under the horizon. So, by the time it really got dark here, especially in the summer months, it doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock in some places. It would already be gone behind the horizon. You're not going to see it until like the very end of it, when your spot in the rotation around the sun would be far enough along to be in the right angle where it's coming up earlier and earlier in the day, so that the sun's going down earlier and earlier, so that you'll be able to get at least a little bit of it at the end. But if you were in Israel, you saw it all night. Like if you're on that part of the world, you saw it all night, just across the sky. So you could literally just follow in that direction, I guess, across it, and you'd be following Jupiter, which wasn't a star, it was a planet, obviously, but considered the king planet. But there was a little bit more to the actual alignment of the constellations. It's not just the fact that it's Jupiter going through Virgo the Virgin, it's the fact that the serpent is lined up to devour the child, and that the child escapes through, in the Bible, in one of those prophecies, it says the child escapes into the wilderness, and a great flood comes, and the earth opens up to swallow it, save the child. But in this, it's talking about like another constellation that is there, that it's supposed to be like a protection or protecting factor. So anyway, I'm not an astrologer on that part. But these are actual movements in the heavens, and the Bible does say certain things about the movements in the heavens. I just think it's funny that the same exact, and that's how rare it is. It took 2,000 plus years for the same event to happen in the heavens again, for it to line up the same way as it did before. And the last time it did, it was the birth of Christ. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing to think about. Alright, so in just a second, I'm going to get on to the actual second part of my birth of Christ story, which is the wise men, from the perspective of the wise men. Who are the wise men? What are they doing? And how does it all play down in Israel? Because it doesn't just play down in Bethlehem. That's where the Christ child was born. But that's not even necessarily the city where we expect that the wise men would have met the Christ child with Mary and Joseph. And they certainly didn't go straight there. They stopped in Jerusalem first, because that's where certain powers were in place. And they stopped in Judea because that's where certain powers were in place. So we'll see in just a few minutes what's going on.